The early morning sun of a crisp October day in 2024 spilled long shadows across the dusty expanse of Willow Vale, a quiet corner of western Montana where my family's ranch stood as a stubborn relic of grit and heritage. I stood on the creaking porch of the Harper homestead at 214 Sagebrush Lane in Pinecrest Meadows, the air sharp with the scent of pine and frost, my boots scuffing against boards worn smooth by decades of boots. I'm Ethan Carter, 42, the sheriff of Clearwater County, a single dad who'd spent 12 years keeping the peace, only to find my own home under siege. My 13-year-old daughter, Lily, stood beside me, her freckled face pale, her hands clutching the porch rail as a mob gathered at our gate, led by Brenda Walsh, the 58-year-old Crestview Pines HOA president. Brenda's megaphone blared, accusing Lily of unleashing our horses into their precious community garden, demanding I hand her over in 5 minutes or face the cops. Her war wasn't about flowers, it was a ruthless bid to steal my land, and when I swung open that gate, revealing my badge, her face drained white. She'd just threatened the wrong father, and the truth I uncovered would shatter her reign of terror. We'd woken to chaos, our fence sliced clean through, a deliberate cut no accident could explain. Our horses had trampled Crestview's garden, and now Brenda, in her designer heels sinking into the dirt, whipped up 25 neighbors into a frenzy, their phones live-streaming her tirade. "Ethan Carter, your daughter's a vandal," she shrieked. "Surrender her now, or I'm calling the state police." Lily's eyes welled up, her voice a whisper. "Dad, I locked the barn last night, I swear." I believed her she'd tended those horses since she could toddle, never careless. I squeezed her shoulder, striding to the gate, my sheriff's badge glinting on my belt. The crowd hushed as I opened it, the brass plaque reading Sheriff Ethan Carter catching the sun. Brenda's smirk faltered, her voice rising. "So, the sheriff shields his delinquent kid? This ranch is a menace." She waved a letter, thick with HOA violations, threatening Lily with consequences. I kept calm. "Someone cut my fence, Brenda. I'll find them, and they'll face charges." Her eyes narrowed. 5 minutes, Sheriff, or I go over your head." The crowd murmured, some nodding, others like my neighbor Jim Hayes shifting uneasily, cowed by Brenda's history of crushing 3 families with lawsuits until they sold their homes cheap. I returned to Lily, her tears breaking my heart. "You're no criminal, sweetheart," I said, vowing silently to my late wife, whose photo sat on our mantle, to protect our girl. Brenda's timer beeped, her grin vicious as it hit 0. "Time's up. I'm calling the state," she crowed, dialing dramatically. But I'd already glimpsed the security footage, a shadowy figure with a familiar gait slicing our fence. That night, I reviewed it at the station, my gut twisting. Brenda's silhouette was unmistakable. The next morning, Lily texted, terrified, "Dad, Mrs. Walsh is at the gate, saying weird stuff about my future." I raced home, breaking every speed limit I'd enforce, finding Brenda alone, waving a folder with school letterhead. "Such a pity," she cooed, "when a girl's record ruins her chances." I stepped between her and Lily. "Get off my land now." Her smirk didn't waver. "This ranch is too big for you two." I know families who'd raise Lily properly. The custody threat hit like a fist, but I held firm as she fled to her SUV, tossing back, "Think of your daughter, Sheriff." That evening's HOA meeting was a masterclass in manipulation, the community center packed, Brenda at the helm like a dictator. She spun tales of declining values and safety risks, her eyes flicking to Lily, implying my girl was a threat. Jim nodded along, guilt in his glance, as Lily shrank beside me. Afterward, she whispered, "Dad, am I embarrassing you?" I knelt. "You're my pride, Lily." Brenda's scared because we're stronger together. That night, I called my deputy, Tom Alvarez, dig into Brenda Walsh's past. "Something's off." Tom agreed. "She's got a trail of forced sales." "I'm on it." As we spoke, Lily confessed, "I recorded her at the gate today." Her phone held Brenda's chilling voice. "In 5 minutes, your life changes." Pride swelled me. 13-year-old had outsmarted a tyrant. 3 days later, Brenda escalated, staging a media circus while I was at work. News vans swarmed our gate, cameras rolling as she bellowed through her bullhorn. "This child's isolated, neglected." Officers, looking uneasy, stood by, called on a welfare check. I arrived, badge shining, and nodded to Officer Sarah Monroe. "Check on Lily." "She's fine." Sarah returned with Lily, who said, "Mrs. Walsh wants me gone." I faced the cameras, Brenda's harassing my family to steal our land. This isn't about safety, it's greed. Brenda waved her folder. This ranch breaks 15 codes. But the crowd wavered, Jim muttering, this is too much. That night, with a court order, I accessed Brenda's HOA emails, finding her $120,000 finder's fees from developers for my ranch. Tom confirmed she's running a racket. We've got her. The next morning, Ellen Patel, a 67-year-old neighbor who'd watched Brenda's rise, sat on my porch, coffee in hand. 3 years back, Brenda ruined the Garcias on Birch Lane, same playbook, violations, child services threats. They sold cheap, and she pocketed a fee. Ellen's phone buzzed with a threat. Meet me in 5 minutes, or I reopen your lawsuit. She grinned. I'm done fearing her. At Brenda's, she played scared, forwarding damning emails while Brenda bragged about crushing us. She threatened Lily's future, Ellen said, voice steel. I sent you everything, financials, developer deals. Tom and I poured over it, a RICO case forming. Jim, shamefaced, warned, Brenda's planning a big move at tomorrow's town hall, saying you abused power. The town hall was a crucible, the community center overflowing. Brenda at the podium, brandishing coerced statements from 19 residents. Sheriff Carter's corrupt, she declared, proposing to relocate Lily. Lily gripped my hand, trembling. Ellen stood. I've got something to say, playing Brenda's recorded threat. Carter's next, then that old hag Ellen. This town's mine. Gasps rippled as Ellen shared emails proving Brenda's $50,000 kickbacks. Brenda screamed, lies, but Lily stepped forward, playing her recording. In 5 minutes, your life's over, kid. This ranch is mine. Silence fell. Then Sarah cuffed Brenda. You're under arrest for harassment, threats, conspiracy. Brenda's meltdown-torn suit, smeared makeup went viral. Her locket's photo of her late husband dangling as she shrieked, I'm the victim. Ellen's evidence emails, financials nailed Brenda's bail denial and 5-year sentence for racketeering. My suspension lifted, the HOA dissolved, Brenda's mansion sold to cover fees. Crestview formed a voluntary group, Jim leading, planning a garden. Lily and I started Freedom Ranch, a kids program for confidence, its spring opening filled with laughter. Ellen, interim leader, scrapped Brenda's rules, saying, live free. Letters flooded our mailbox, kids inspired by Lily's stand. Under dusk's glow, our ranch thrived, a beacon of defiance. Was Ethan's fight justice or vengeance? Should Brenda's ruin be final or redeemable? Can Crestview stay free, or will new Brenda's rise? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for stories that demand your stand.